Know when one educator or one school has been harmed, it feels as if the entire community has been assaulted. This is a special message from myself, Dr. Romie, and our entire team to all of our educators. Welcome. If we haven't met before, I'm Dr. Romie Mushtaq, founder of the brainSHIFT Institute. We take whole person wellness programs for your brain, body, and team to companies and organizations. And over the last 5 to 6 years, we've had the honor of working with educators in multiple industries and school districts across the United States, from kindergarten to 12th grade to superintendents and universities. Education is an important family value that was instilled by my parents to me. I am the daughter of immigrants, and English is a second language. And without an education and without the I think support of certain teachers and leaders in a small public school system in Danville, Illinois, where I was born and raised, I never would have grown up to be the woman I am today, a board certified physician, a female founder, and a C-suite executive chief wellness officer for a very large company. And I wanted to give this special message to all of you as someone that brings together the world of neurology, integrative medicine, and mindfulness. I have this firm idea that when one being in our community is suffering, it's as if the entire community hurts. And this message is being recorded on the heels of yet another tragedy. And we are witnessing here in the United States the murder of 19 individuals, 2 teachers and school children in Uvalde, Texas. And this is coming after a week of racially motivated shootings that have occurred in California and Buffalo, New York. So I pause to breathe to remind you, as educators and leaders, you're busy taking care of your children, the parents, your team. Have you paused to take care of yourself? We likely have met because we've talked about stress management and burnout and mindfulness in the last 5 years. If it's been recently, you took a busy brain test. And there are times like this where stress levels will increase. I think there isn't an individual in the education system anywhere in North America that isn't already at a high chronic stress level. And something like this happens, and it may push you to a tipping point. But before you leave your job or you give up hope, I hope you'll take a pause and consider these few steps that I wanted to give you. Step 1, I always call it gathering my grace, gather your grace. And that's giving yourself grace. You give grace to everybody all around you every day as teachers and leaders. Could you give yourself grace? So if you find yourself unable to sleep, feeling anxious, traumatized, watching the news stories, feeling as if your own school or classroom was assaulted, this is all normal. This is normal grief. This is a normal trauma response. When our brain sees these images, we have deep empathy and compassion. It feels like we are sitting in that city and in that school. You may feel helpless or hopeless right now, and that's normal because a lot of us are doers and action takers. And you're like, what action can I take right now? And unfortunately, when we don't calm down our stress, our policy or political viewpoints may come out and we end up arguing with someone. We don't need to argue right now as an education community. We need to all come together regardless of our political viewpoints. So number 1, gather your grace, whatever that's going to take. And so then you're number 2, Romie, how do I calm down? I hope that if I've come to your school system, that a link or something has been given to you for your employee assistance program, and to talk to a professional if you need it. You often think of other colleagues or students or parents that need the help, but remember, we do too as well. And to talk to a neutral person to process that grief. We're going to include a couple of guided meditations here for you as just something to start to gather yourself. But you may be finding that, Romie, the things that I normally did to calm myself down are no longer working. And that's a sign that we're progressing from stress to burnout. And it's just this reminder to hit a pause. And I certainly hope you're getting a break with upcoming summer holidays to do just that. Number 3, after you've gathered your grace, and we process emotions and we realize we're not going to project our anger on each other, what are some additional things we can do? I wanted to share something that I learned starting in my family, which was whenever we heard about bad news in the world or in our community or of a loved one, we had a specific family prayer that I would see my mom and dad modeling and saying. This comes to this idea that are thoughts and prayers useless? And they're not. I think if you're a person of any faith, we believe in the power of prayer, good intentions, positive thoughts can uplift a community. We hear that often. There are lots of clinical studies that when people had strangers praying for them from any denomination or faith or sending positive intentions, they would heal from surgery or a heart attack faster. It's fascinating, isn't it? So please don't underestimate the power of sitting in thoughts and prayers, that we uplift all of humanity and we change the energy that you're feeling in your energy field, in your home, in your community, and in our country to one of anger, to one and hate, to one of support and compassion. And then in addition to that, step 4 is what action can you take? I think it's only when we gather our grace, we come out of the acute stress cycle and we bring an energy of universal compassion from thoughts and prayers, can we then decide what action to take? And chances are, if you're an educator, you take actions every day in caring for your students. So this action is going to be for you. What can you do for yourself that will bathe your senses, your sight, your sound, your touch, your taste, to calm those senses down? And just a gentle reminder to do that. And I'm going to close with this. If you've been on a call with me, one of my favorite meditations based in teachings of my Buddhist teachers known as Metta Bhavana, or also loving kindness meditation. This is a English translation from my teachers in Cambodia of the Sanskrit Metta Bhavana. So just take a deep breath with me and repeat this for me. 4 key phrases, right? And what are those phrases? Is breathe. May I be happy. May I be happy. Breathe again. May I be free of physical pain and suffering. May I be free of physical pain and suffering. May I be healthy and strong. May I be healthy and strong. May I be able to live in this world happily, peacefully, joyfully, and with ease. May I be able to live in this world happily, peacefully, joyfully, and with ease. And so it is. And now when we do it for ourselves, we do it for other loved ones on our team. So I'm going to say, think of the education community in the United States as a whole, all of our teachers and administrators and leaders and anybody that makes our school system fuel. And repeat after me. May you be happy. May you be happy. May you be free of physical pain and suffering. May you be free of physical pain and suffering. May you be healthy and strong. May you be healthy and strong. May you live in this world happily, peacefully, joyfully, and with ease. May you live in this world happily, peacefully, joyfully, and with ease. And now we just take our energy and our heart to Uvalde, Texas, to Buffalo, New York, to any family that is still grieving the loss of a child, loss of teachers, loss of that. And repeat after me. May you all be happy. May you all be happy. May you all be free of physical pain and suffering. May you all be free of physical pain and suffering. May you all be healthy and strong. May you all be healthy and strong. And may you be able to live in this world happily, peacefully, joyfully, and with ease. And may you all be able to live in this world happily, peacefully, joyfully, and with ease. And so it is. I know in the face of acute trauma and grief, it may feel impossible to have that compassion open up our hearts and to imagine someone be free of the pain and the suffering that they're in. But that's our role, and how we can start to give back is that if we can anchor to our own place of grace and hold that place of compassion and strength and love and support for others, that may it spread in the community of educators and uplift those that are in the corners of the United States that need it the most right now, right? And I just think of this, I was sipping coffee as I was getting ready to record this, and thought this was so perfect to share. Sometimes the universe just sends us signs. It's from Hebrews 11:1. Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. I think that's a perfect message to end in compassion, faith, and hope. I'm Dr. Romie. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for so many amazing teachers and professors, educators, and leaders in the field of education. So I just pause to give gratitude and give compassion back to all of you, and hope that you will give yourself grace and compassion today.